Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we are looking at the Micronauts #1 Facsimile edition from Marvel Comics. Fantastic first issue. Check out that exciting cover. Cannot wait to share it with you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. Well, this is something that's so cool because, at not too long ago, we probably thought we would never see this. It is from Hasbro, one of the licensed toy comic books that Marvel did, along with ROM. And apparently, they've reached some sort of agreement because we're seeing like reprints. We saw the ROM Omnibus. We're seeing, like some reprints of like the X-Men issues with ROM. I think I have, no, maybe I passed on it. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so we got this great Micronauts Facsimile edition. We had the Michael Golden Micronauts Artist Edition that I covered on my channel. If you want to, maybe I'll link it in the description if you want to watch that. Gorgeous art, amazing. Michael Golden is like the artist. Influenced so many artists. Art Adams, is a huge Michael Golden disciple, I feel. So, he definitely set the trend. I feel like it kind of paved the way for artists like Rob Liefeld, for better or worse. But like that kind of generation is like really beholden to Michael Golden. I think I discovered Michael Golden on Avengers Annual 10, and it was amazing. My brother's reading Micronauts. I might have peripherally read his. We collected the toys. If I didn't have this Spider-Man, I wanted it. It's amazing. I feel like I wound up with an absurd amount of Green Goblin toys. Like, I don't know what that's about. Anyway, facsimile editions, love them or hate them. Some people feel that they bring down the value of the originals. I say they nay. I am so happy to have this. Like, it looks, to be able to see the art printed on better paper and get all the house ads. And, some people think they're expensive for reprints. But, it's sort of like a niche kind of thing. It's like, I mean, I don't know what the market for facsimile is. I think it would be huge. But, printing is expensive. There's a reason why, comics are expensive. And I don't know. I hate to say it, but it's kind of like, it's a specialty item and you're paying for that. I honestly don't mind paying $5 for it. It is expensive, but so is Starbucks. I don't drink coffee, so I'll take this Micronauts Facsimile Edition any day of the week. So we've got Bill Mantlo, Michael Golden, writer, storytellers, and artist. I find that interesting. That Michael Golden is sort of getting like a storytelling credit. This is probably done in the Marvel method, and when you keep that in mind, if you're working in the Marvel method, the artist is more than helping write the story. They are telling the story based on conversations you had, but they are bringing it to life. And even if it's from full script, they are still telling the story by bringing your full script to life. So arguably, if they are the visual storyteller of a different writer's script, then they kind of deserve a story credit. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to like open a can of worms, and it's like, I'm not trying to like preach or anything, but it just makes sense, right? So I like to see them having a shared credit is what I like, as I'm saying. Now, Joseph Rubinstein, embellisher. Now let's talk about the word embellisher versus inker. Embellisher says to me that he's getting a little bit of a looser pencil, not quite finished, but a lot of these artists back in the day, that's how you do a monthly comic book. You're doing like a slightly looser work. You're not like filling the blacks. You're like maybe indicating the black areas with X's. And then the artist is coming in and adding like the line weights and like definitely adding the stipple and having on the screen tones. I will say this, that Joseph Rubinstein is an amazing, esteemed, super talented inker. I recently did Wolverine Facsimile Edition. Ironically, his work with Frank Miller is undeniably gorgeous. He brought so much to the plate on that. But I do think he is one of the inkers who is not suited for everyone. I did not like him inking McFarlane. I am not crazy about his inks here. He has more like of a brushy kind of almost dry brush, feathery kind of look that does not lend itself well to a crisp, detailed artist like Michael Golden, whereas a Armando Gil or a Terry Austin is just bringing everything to it. Or when he inks himself, of course. That said, it looks great. I mean, it is gorgeous. I'm not going to complain about it. Look at this just sweeping scenes. The interesting thing about Michael Golden is he came from advertising, and, you know, I guess a lot of artists worked in comics because, you know, they weren't finding work elsewhere, and begrudgingly they worked in comics. You know, I don't know if I don't want to put words into his mouth and necessarily say that he felt like he was above it, but just based on interviews and stuff I've read with him, he doesn't make any secret that superheroes aren't necessarily his favorite thing. So I think that perhaps drawing Micronauts and having a hand in their creation probably was a little bit of a thrill for him. It's, you know, more of the fantasy genre, perhaps. Man, is that Baron Karza or whatever? I even talk about a design. The toy on that, the original toy line was amazing. I am like Biodrome or whatever the hell his name was. I mean, this one right here, Acro Year. I mean, but it's such a great mesh. You know, there's like characters who were created specifically for the comic book. Marionette, of course, stands out. Bug, and this guy in blue here. Look at these great original ads. I love it so much. Like, this is what a geek I am. So if I had a time machine, and I know this is like such a stupid thing to say, I would go back in time and order this crap. But then I'm thinking, like, there's got to be a better way to handle it, because then I have to wait for it to be delivered and stuff. And there are flaws in my desires, I didn't realize. But look at the amazing, like, storytelling. I love, you know, I want to give credit to another artist who came from advertising, Neil Adams, for sort of bringing dynamic page layouts. But then, you know, somebody's going to point out like 50 examples of Kirby and Ditko doing it too. So the greats are the greats. You know what I mean? We all stand on the shoulders of greats. And I'm telling you, there are like Michael Golden must have the biggest shoulder pads in comic books, because there are so many artists standing on his shoulders. When you know. I mean, he did so many great things. Like also I covered Avengers Annual 10. Like, it's pretty much untouchable artistically and story-wise. It's like one of the most perfect comic books ever. And arguably more of an X-Men story, but definitely a Carol Danvers story. Like the ultimate Carol Danvers story. Like Chris Claremont, you know, I feel like he created Carol Danvers, and if he didn't, like, she's a character like Storm, you know, like nobody ever wrote her better and nobody ever will. So there's that. I love this. Meet the Micronauts. Commander Arcturus, Ran, Marionette, Baron Karza, Acrogear, Prince Chatan, the Shadow Priests, Biotron, Bug. I mean, this is giving me nostalgia, like butterflies, like you would not believe. Like, this is so fun. And you can just, you know, back when you could just, like, I don't know, put a gun ad in a comic book. Subscribe now to Pizzazz. What is Pizzazz? Marvel's most off-the-wall mag, and get... Oh, no way. I'm sure, like, did I never have that come into my life? I don't know. It sounds familiar, though, right? I mean, just look at the fun, like, you know. I will give it to Rubenstein. You know, I'm curious to see the original pencils, because I do feel like, on one hand, like, he kind of perhaps may have lost some of the details Golden had, but I don't have anything to compare it to. So I don't know for sure. But some of it looks really great. I mean, the Michael Golden is spilling through for sure. This is, if not his first work at Marvel, you know, very early work of his. Bill Mantlo is his writer, and I love Bill Mantlo. I did want to say something about Bill Mantlo, because he is probably, like, you know, definitely underappreciated. Such a great writer, right? Like, wrote so many great Spider-Man stories. Cloak and Dagger, one of my favorites. This Micronauts, like, stands out. I feel like Rocket Raccoon was his as well, with Mike Mignola. So, I mean, there is so much, but he, you know, actually got into a horrible accident and, like, wound up being paralyzed and, like, falling on hard times without, like, health insurance. So very tragic and sad. You know, So respect to Bill Mantlo. Although, notice I didn't mention Alpha Flight because I do feel I'm like such an Alpha Flight like whore, and I just love Alpha Flight, and he ruined it after. But I think I have my suspicion, like, I feel like Byrne maybe armed him into switching books. Like, Byrne went to Hulk and then bailed after 6 issues, and then here's Mantlo stuck on Alpha Flight, and like all he did was dismantle everything Byrne did. And maybe it was revenge. Do you think so? I mean, what a horrible way to end that issue, but look at this art. Is great. That is iconic. That is amazing. I do love the screen tone here, and I do love screen tones. I don't know, some of it seems a little egregious though. I don't know. But oh my god, what a solid, amazing first issue. I can't even imagine. Like I said, my brother read this, so I don't even know if like I read it at the time. But the genre, I was like so into superheroes. I don't know, anything that's slightly off genre, like had mixed appeal for me. But this is amazing. Did we say who the letterer was? Because the lettering is really good here. That's what I noticed earlier. Oh no, Tom Orzechowski, letterer, and Glynis Wing, colorist. Can you believe? Like, what an amazing art team. Like, what, and lettering and coloring, the famed X-Men letterer and colorist. And the lettering does stand out. It's pretty amazing. I did notice it all throughout. Hand lettering, such a lost art form. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? The sound effects, everything. What an amazing issue, guys. This is an argument for keeping the Facsimile train going. I love these Facsimile issues. They're amazing. What a great panel there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love this comic book. So much fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. I'll bring you more soon.